Hey everybody, Dan Schinder here
And Steven Schinder here.
on Yesshift with some breaking news. Steve, I cannot believe this is happening.
Yeah, I think this is maybe the fourth time this has happened and this is with the European and UK legs of the Relayer Tour that have been long planned. Should we go into the announcement before we share our thoughts?
Yeah, let's go into the announcement. So Yes says they're postponing the 2023 Relayer Tour. And they say it's with enormous regret that due to unforeseen circumstances beyond the band's control, Yes have taken the decision to postpone their 2023 Relayer and UK tour. Basically, this amounts to an insurance issue. We live in a different world now, which is a bit more difficult to insure certain things when people are traveling, not just to go on a vacation, but from city to city to city to city to country to country to country, like a touring band. I don't know what's going on with other bands and how they were able to solve it, because I know there's bands on tour. You know, we both follow a lot of bands, so I'm not sure why.
Right, yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. And they're saying, yeah, Steve's making sure it's clear. We do follow other bands, okay?
Yeah, Yes isn't the only band we listen to and talk about.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Moishe Pipic and the Bagel Slingers coming to Phoenix for their tour called Schmear. Okay, so Yes and their management have explored every possible avenue to arrange insurance to cover for the tour in the event of a COVID-related exemption or an act of war exclusion because of everything going on. The insurance industry has withdrawn all such insurances, which made touring possible pre-COVID and before the Ukraine conflict. So I get that, but how are other bands on tour? Are they just being more risky? Are they doing it uninsured? Maybe Yes is playing it extra safe. They're a little older than a lot of them, so maybe they're a bit more mature and business savvy about it. I don't know. I don't mean that as a diss to any other band on tour. I'm just curious, why them? Why is not everyone not going on? That's the part I don't get. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a bit of a head scratcher. And I know some people, it's not always a good idea to look at the comments on these announcements, but people have their own theories, which I don't personally believe.
I want to move my camera over. Are there some weird ones that you want to mention?
Well, the usual naysayers are saying, oh, they can't do Relayer. This is like just an excuse. But I personally don't believe that. I saw them play Gates of Delirium on the Royal Affair tour. I think they can still do it.
Of course they can. Of course they can. Yeah. And I'm not saying, I'm not being sarcastic here. I mean, to everybody, of course they can. I can, and I know they can. But, maybe they're not insuring it because there's some idiot insurance person who says it's not Yes without John Anderson, so he's not signing off on it.
Yeah, I don't know about
this thing on?
But
The 2-drink minimum. Try the roast beef. It's great. Tip your waitress. Yeah, it's weird. But here's the other thing that I feel a bit heart sunken for them about. We're doing one show right now. We're planning one Drum Talk TV show. One. And it's taken up so much of my time and Jerice, the event planner, and Enja, my wife, and, everybody involved. And it's one show. I can't imagine what the repercussions are of the hotel arrangements they probably had ahead of time, the venues. How does this affect their contracts? Are they losing money on this? Did they have to? It's like, I don't even want to hear it, And I'm laughing not because it's funny, but just I hope it's nothing like I'm imagining, because if stuff were to fall apart after our deposit that we don't get back from the venue, we can do the show again anytime. But just the whole thought of a whole tour just being taken away, and like you said, it's not the first time. What they must be going through, what I would love for them to do is get together in a soundstage with the stage they were going to set up with and do a live streamed show. and make it pay per view and let it freaking rip and do that and make a DVD out of it. Go and then you know what?
Yeah.
Go back into the studio and record another great album. And I love the music that we've heard so far from this, but go ahead and do that and perform the whole album and relayer the whole new
Yeah.
album. And what do you think?
Yeah, I think they kind of did something similar to that with the Yes Acoustic video, didn't they? Like
Yeah.
I don't remember if they broadcasted live or if they pre-recorded and then like transmitted it to theaters after the Yes Speak documentary. But the Yes Acoustic thing where they're like on that stage and performing, like, and you could do that. Like, I mean, it's almost 20 years later.
Yeah,
You
it's
could
the norm
very
now.
much- yeah.
Yeah, we're doing it right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah, I think planning something like that as because people were doing that at the beginning of lockdown a few years ago.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
shows were canceled, so they did some like broadcasts and organized as one thing. I remember Oliver Wakeman played a bit of Words on a Page in one of those, and he had other bands like I think maybe Dream Theater or maybe some other band.
Tuba
did
Skinny.
something, but-
Tuba Skinny, who we've had, Robert Rapuzzi, the washboard player. Tuba
Right.
Skinny is like a Dixieland, ragtime, old school jazz from the 20s and 30s era. Excuse
Yeah.
me, 20s and 30s. They did it,
Yeah, like I
everyone's-
think, yeah, like performing somewhere safe and broadcasting it live online, like that would at least keep people engaged and sort of satiate their appetites.
Yeah, and maybe do it at, and I'm just throwing it out there, at the Van Nuys Airport where they recorded the Love Will Find a Way video. Do it in a hangar at Van Nuys Airport in LA and let 300 people attend. Do a VIP package. It's $300 for 300 people to attend it live. So you have an audience, set up your stage, stream it, just do it.
Yeah, when you mentioned Van Nuys Airport, I imagined the Love Will Find a Way music video.
Really,
'cause-
that's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I see a comment from Dave Walkinson. Yes, have said why, but it's not to say it's not massively sad and troublesome for the band at this amazing time for them. New album, new single, topographic anniversary, relayered tour, new official member. Absolutely zooming ahead, so this is a tough one.
Dave's right, though. Not a lot going on with them.
No, but yeah, it's kind of a bit of mood whiplash because they, are putting out new music and it sounds promising, and then we get this. But I mean, we still got a new album to look forward to, like in the really near future in May. So
Yeah.
there's that. But
Mood whiplash. I've never heard that, but it describes it perfectly. Did you just make that up?
no, it's
It's
a
a
term
thing?
that's been around for a long time, like
Wow.
at least a decade or
Okay,
so.
I've never heard it, but it certainly applies.
Yeah, mood whiplash for a day, Yeah,
Well,
and-
more than a day, but yeah.
Yeah, what I'm curious about is because we know they're planning. Well, I don't know, like if we knew for sure, but I expected that they'd be touring the U.S. like maybe this autumn, maybe they do Japan as well. I'm curious whether if they do that, whether they'll include Relayer then as well. I do remember a while ago, you and I were kind of half speculating, half joking that maybe they'd push Relayer to 2024 completely, and they're doing that for the European and UK legs. But yeah,
So they
we
might
were
as well.
yeah, we're kind of speculating about that because they did that for the Close to the Edge 50th anniversary, and next year would be Relayer's 50th. So I'm kind of keeping my expectations tempered when it comes to any upcoming US tour announcement. But if they were to announce that they're saving Relayer for next year completely, my suggestion would be like I'd be okay with that,
Jesus.
but they should like as a substitute be sure to promote Mirror to the Sky. A lot of
yeah.
the new material includes some of the quest if you have room for it in the set list. I think that would be a good trade-off. In improv comedy, there's this thing called a yes and it's kind of funny that has yes in it, where the performers will say a thing and then the next one will say yes, and so they accept that reality and add on to that reality. But there's also no but, which is when one of the performers might disagree but add something that enhances that as like a substitute
Hmm.
choice. So I kind of see it like that. Like if they don't do relayer this year, at least promote the new material.
I just hope they plan ahead enough. I hope they plan ahead enough so that in 2030 we get the Drama 50 tour. Will
Yeah,
there
I
be
see
one?
another.
That's not that far away, man. Right? It's 6 years away.
Yeah,
Almost
seven
five
years
and a
away.
half.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, 6.5 years away.
Yeah, I see a comment from Dave Halliday saying, I just don't get some fans. They just don't really understand what it takes to plan and do a tour, especially with the war going on in Europe and COVID. Just like you stated, these musicians are not in their 20s anymore. Safety always comes first.
Yeah. It's very curious. I feel bad, but
Yeah,
we'll reach
because
out. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was saying, yeah, I feel bad too because the fans in Europe and the UK and in other regions as well. I mean, we haven't seen whether other regions are affected yet. We just know for sure that Europe and
That's true.
UK are delayed, but I still feel bad for like the fans over there who are really looking forward to this. And this is like not this has happened a few times with them already, and they were really looking forward to Relayer because we love this music. Relayer is a phenomenal album, and it's a great album to perform.
Yeah, it's a bit on the teen pop side, but it grew on me. So, Steve, what about the US? Does it affect the Relay Tour in the US? Did they not have the
um,
date solidified? I don't remember right
well,
now.
like I said, they haven't announced US
Oh, okay.
dates, but it was my expectation that they might tour like in the autumn like they did last year, but we'll just have to see like if they make an announcement, which I don't expect an announcement for the US for like maybe a couple months if anything. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it'd probably be hard to do on something shorter term because venues are booked and just so many other. It's a
Yeah,
deep
they would have had
matrix.
to plan it ahead of time, yeah.
Yeah, it's a deep matrix, and for people that just give a dismissive wave and say, "Yeah, screw those guys. Why do they have to cancel? Why they?" It's just it's business, and there's so many moving parts with a tour, let alone again one show.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, tickets go on sale next week for the Drum Talk TV celebration show for May 20th in Las Vegas, and my co-host for that will be none other than
Jeff
Jeff
Berlin.
Berlin. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, more on that coming. Follow us on Drum Talk TV. But well, this is sort of a wait and see for now. But in the meantime, like you said, Steve, we've got the album coming. It's very promising, I think,
Yeah.
with the music we've heard so far and the descriptions of the lush layered music, as Steve Howe has said. So we'll just have to see. And we'll keep you folks apprised to what we find out, and we'll reach out, see if we can get Jay, Billy, anybody on. We've got relationships with all of them, so we'll see if we can get one on, and hopefully maybe plant that seed. I think my idea is a pretty good idea. Most of my ideas are pretty good. Some are great. I think this is a pretty good idea. The rest
Yeah.
are great, but get in a sound stage somewhere, set up your stage, make it $300, VIP package for everybody. Maybe even make it a formal affair. You can't get in without a tie or a dress, or I don't know. Be creative and let's just make something happen in LA, New York, or Globe, Arizona, something like that.
Yeah. That would be fun, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way,
Um
if anyone has Steve's address, go to his house and pinch him. I'm not sure if the dark green is actually green. He might be putting one over on me.
no, it really is
It is
dark
okay.
green. Let me see if I can like use the light on my phone to
And
enhance
it's
it.
funny, I didn't have this shirt on
Yeah.
before. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I see it, the leaf. Yeah, before we went live, but it is St. Patrick's Day as we're recording this. So why is it that St. Patrick's Day and Cinco de Mayo are like big American let's get drunk days. Why is that when no one says, "Hey, it's Passover, the Jews are all wearing yarmulkes. Let's all wear yarmulkes," or on Ramadan, let's wear a kufi, or like what is up with that? Everything's so commercialized now.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
It's like you're ostracized, like I just did to you. You're ostracized if you're not clearly wearing green. But I'm not wearing green today. I wore this for this, and I'm hoping I get pinched. What can I tell you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in today's day and age, like people should know better than to pinch each other because, like, that's no. Yeah.
Hey,
No.
folks, today is St. Patrick's Day. Put on the promise ring. Listen to John's Promise Ring album today. And we just did an episode on that, which Steve will repost today on our channel.
Yeah, actually already reposted
Oh,
earlier.
great.
Yeah, I
That's where I got
scheduled
the
it
idea
ahead of
from.
time. So yeah, a best thing to do would be to follow us at facebook.com/Yesshift to see what we talk about next. We're planning to talk about King Crimson's Lark's Tongues and Aspic on the 23rd at noon Pacific, since it's that album's 50th anniversary. But if anything changes or if anything gets added to our plate, we'll be sure to post about it. And you can also go to youtube.com/@YesShift and see the videos after we archive them. And you can also go to anchor.fm/YesShift, see where all our channels where we put our audio are. And you can also donate if you'd like.
Yeah, donate. Steve needs a new green shirt. Just kidding.
And you can email yesshiftpodcast@gmail.com with any show suggestions or feedback. And yeah, it's always great to hear from people and seeing people get involved. So yeah, really appreciate all the people who tune in.
Yeah, go ahead and chime in on the comments, even if you're watching on the archive. We'd love to hear from you. And any last thoughts, Steve?
No, I think we covered it. Again, it's like a wait and see thing. It's still like a real bummer, but it's safety comes first, and we'll just have to see what ends up happening with all this.
Yep, absolutely. All right, thanks everybody for joining us. We will be back soon with more Yes Fun, which is
right.
one word, by the way, capital F.
Of course. All right.
Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye-bye.